I hope everyone's doing okay. So, I'm Cool Silver. If you haven't already realized, I am doing a live stream for DEADROP, Midnight Society's game that they're developing. And tonight they're releasing details and Snapshot 5 of DEADROP. So they're having an event in Texas, which I didn't go to. I'm not there. But I decided that maybe have a little bit of a watch party, and since I'm a Midnight Society variant, that I would actually go through and, actually play the game once I have it ready to go. There might be a short delay, depending on how long it takes to get things set up. But that is one thing that I'll be doing. And this is going to be a lot of fun. There's actually quite a few well-known streamers that are going to be taking place in a Snapshot challenge, I believe they call it, for DEADROP. And it's going to be fun. You're going to want to have a good look at this. So, like I said, I'm doing a kind of a watch party. I'm going to watch it here with you, give my reactions to it, which Midnight Society is given full access to any variant, basically, to give feedback and share and be part of their game and their development process. So I believe it's going to be a lot of fun to sit here and watch the details unfold. So we got another 4 minutes to go here, at least. Looks like they just updated the site, so I'm going to start downloading that on my other display. Interesting music that they're playing. This is from their stream. So I'm just going to show this real quick here. This is my founder's profile. So all the details for my variant are right here. Once I've logged into the Midnight Society site, here's all the details about my access pass. And then here, there's all the details with the actual snapshot that I'm loading. There's also a variant guide, and this is also part of the variant package. And since it's downloading almost 4 gigs worth of game, it took a couple seconds to pull up. Looks like they might be getting close here. But yeah, this is the variant guide that is given to variants. Gives some details. Basically, this variant guide has been expanded on throughout the process. So obviously, the Midnight Society team has grown. This is everyone that is involved, along with Dr. Disrespect, Quinn, Summit, and Robert, as far as the leadership of Midnight Society. Starting off with DEADROP, there was an ARG game that, that all the variants and claws took place in back in early 2022, last year. Went through and was able to get some details about different sectors, and that's something that is going to be part of this tower. So, just to kind of recap, every claw variant, Ember, and Eyes contributes to the DEADROP universe, called the Existence. And basically, there's a couple different things to know about game here. And we can get back into details here a little bit later. But they first came out with the first snapshot. They came out with the hideout, the firing range, some details about behind the scenes, how the process was working. Snapshot 2 came the garage. And then from there, they were able to get feedback from us, variants, and go and do what they need to develop the game. So it sounds like they're starting. That's Dr. Disrespect.
I became an international video gaming superstar by going back to back. Later on, I went into game design. I wanted to truly understand the process of making a game. Now, here we are.
Raul! I can't roll my R's, sorry. I just can't.
We're talking today about something new. DEADROP is going to be a game unlike anything you've ever seen. To build it,
let's do that here. That might be a little bit better for you.
We're here to talk exclusively about DEADROP, an original and competitive entry to the AAA space. About DEADROP, an original and competitive entry.
Sorry about that.
AAA space. DEADROP is the world's first vertical extraction shooter, and with only a year into development, this is simply just the beginning. It's time for some early hands-on with the game. Oh, baby. Submit, Rob, Quinn. Don't be shy. Get out here.
Get out here. Come on, let's wake up!
Welcome to the event. I want to give a huge thanks to Optic Gaming for having us here. The Esports Stadium here in Arlington, Texas. But most importantly, the founders who are already in the existence today.
Woo, that's me.
The Midnight Society dev team that's here in the crowd, the variants and the future claws, and everyone joining us from home. It's been 1 year. 1 year to get to this point. I cannot believe how far and how quickly we came because of all the feedback that you guys have been giving us every single snapshot.
Go.
Can you believe this, Suman?
Oh man, it feels so real. I mean, I remember all
assuming he's the CEO. That's Robert. He's the development head, the studio head.
And I remember when we were
And
talking
Quinn,
about it,
he's
it was
the
late
creative director.
2021 or so, and we were talking about the game, the ideas, and essentially the studio that we are going to build. And one of the things that keep coming back to us was how we wanted to be able to talk to our community, how we wanted to be able to share what we are doing with them, and not when the game is in alpha or a beta, but from day zero.
Day zero, that's right.
Right, Quinn?
Day zero, that's right. Hey, so let's get into this.
There's a lot of people there. Man, I really wanted to be there too, but didn't get to.
How we got to where we are and what you're going to see today. And that starts with the team. The dev team we have assembled is world class. Not
Absolutely.
just a team that will just shy away from the unknown, but a team that is not only willing, but desirous to rewrite the book on game development. And in fact, what we want to do, we want to write books that we didn't even know need to be written about game development when we're doing this. Okay?
Yep.
So we're not just here because, you know, we're hot shots. We think we got it all figured out. This is us, okay? This is us up here fulfilling the promise that we made when we formed the studio, that we are making the game side by side with you, the players. This is us fulfilling that.
And so far they have. They absolutely have.
So what you're all about to see today is pre-alpha, okay? Keep that in mind, pre-alpha, and we have a lot of work left to do.
This all plays into the key principles of why we founded this studio in the first place, right? We wanted you guys along for the ride, every snapshot, every feature, building it openly alongside this community and making sure that you were involved in every design decision that we did. We talked about it before, we'll talk about it every single time, step by step, every snapshot, every feature. And that was starting with Snapshot 1. All we had was the first weapons, the player hideout, the firing range. You guys ran through it. You gave us that feedback. Snapshot 2, we introduced PvP multiplayer so that you guys could get in there, start testing out that multiplayer loop, giving us feedback on what that competitive nature felt like. Then we just kept building on it. Snapshot 3, Snapshot 4. We are now here for Snapshot 5, our 5th pre-alpha release. The moment we've all been waiting for, it is time to enter the tower. Woo!
Variants. Oh.
Let's go.
Who's ready to dead drop?
Yes! Getting it ready now.
This is it. The moment to enter that big, beautiful tower in the distance, the refiner state. Let's take a sneak peek at what we're about to drop into with Sector 3 cold storage.
The very first sector. Remember, this is a vertical extraction shooter. There is going to be so much verticality in this game that is going to be unbelievable. From climbing to rope work, hanging from ledges, shimmying on ledges, zip lines, giant elevator. Oh, I'm getting chills. I hate to say that.
I love that music. That music totally gets me going, all right? Gets me going to be up here on this stage. Now let's talk about something that we are all really excited about here at Midnight Society. And we made an announcement about this just a few weeks ago, and that is the Visor Cortex, okay? And I know a lot of you know what the Visor Cortex is, all right?
Yeah, it's right here.
Let's talk
Right here in the
about it. So
corner.
what is it? You know, as a Founders Pass holder, the Visor Cortex is your unique identity in the Midnight Society existence. And there will only ever be 10,000 of you founders, okay?
I want to. It's
So why
crazy,
is it
but
important?
yeah.
For the first time ever,
one of the
first time ever,
founders.
your Midnight Society identity will be in-game. That starts with Snapshot 5 here today. And with this reward comes risk of enemies coming up to you, killing you, and snagging your variant identity tag.
That means that everybody else who joins this game is hunting for your variant ID. If you fall, it's in your bag. That is a permanent record that they killed you. They'll be able to take it back to their player hideout, display it, keep it, treasure it. I know I treasure breads every time I get it. I get it a lot. Oh, I get it a lot. But this is just the beginning of the benefits for the people who hold Founder Passes right now. Every single Founder Pass holder will continue to receive first dibs on every major new addition to DEADROP. And that starts with our new UGC mode that's coming in the future. This is your chance as creators to customize the game to your liking. If you're Hex and you want to make it more competitive, if you want to maybe introduce some CTF gameplay, whatever it is, this is your chance to customize the game. And that is just the beginning. That mode is going to continue to expand, and you guys will have first dibs on it. Now, most importantly, we've heard the community loud and clear that they want in on DEADROP. Our first 10,000 have had the luxury, but now we have heard you.
Enter the tower with the DEADROP Tower Key Pre-Alpha Access, an exclusive
Tower
limited
Key
availability pass that gives you pre-alpha access to DEADROP Snapshot builds. Unique
Wow.
legendary weapon cosmetics, plus the Season 0 Battle Pass, special gameplay events, and much, much more. Don't miss your chance to get on the action and be a part of the biggest AAA game of the decade. Drop in now.
Let's go! Get your keys!
DEADROP Early Access is now available. We're calling it the Tower Key. It is pre-alpha access to the game, available for anybody at midnightsociety.com/towerkey right now for just $25. Now, those in this room are going to be familiar with what this means. That means you get access to Snapshot 5 right now. They can be dropping in, playing with our variants, and every snapshot after this point. It also includes, in your stash, the Deep Freeze Collection, our first set of legendary weapon skins. But don't worry,
Nice.
everybody in this room already has it.
Woo!
Wait
I
for
do.
your stashes at home, all right? You're going to get a limited edition hideout item to start customizing your hideout in the future, as well as the Season 0 Battle Pass for free.
Baby, let's go!
Wait, there's more.
I hope
Not only that,
that this
every
is like
Tower Key,
amazing.
just like our variant, it's going to have the ability and the invite to come to events just like this around the country throughout the year, as well as your unique claw ID in game. So go right now, get your Tower Key, and drop into Snapshot 5 with our variants.
I'm ready to go. I've got things set up. Whew. All right. So there's a lot going on with this. They already said that there was going to be a shift, a big shift with Snapshot 5 and beyond. Obviously, they're on it. So, man, if people want their get in the game and to feel exactly how we felt from the day zero This game hasn't even begun to be finished. All right, but with the first sector, there's going to be many more that everyone's going to be able to enjoy at the same time. And man, it looks like it looks like a lot of people are going to be enjoying the game. Now, here's the other thing that they did mention: the variants. There's only 10,000 of them, period, ever. So if someone like myself has a variant ID, and you get the my Cortex ID tag, that's one, a collectible on your side. But there's only 10,000 of us that you'll ever see in the game, and it's going to be the most rare thing that you are ever going to see as this game progresses. Once there's 10,000 of us, along with 100,000 other people, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, million people, if the game goes as well as what it could be, if a million people versus 10,000, these variants are going to be rare. Now, there are some variants that are available that people have been selling and trading back and forth. The variants are an NFT, so they're out on OpenSea that you can buy from those who are actually selling them. I am not going to sell mine. There's not a chance I'm going to sell mine. So they're going to be rare and limited. But there are some that are out there that you can possibly buy. But with the tower access key that you can buy for $25, which is probably going to be a lot cheaper than the variant pass. If you want to get into the game, that's the best way to do it. And man, I only got like another minute 45 seconds. Just gonna pull this back up real quick. Here's the actual notes off the Midnight Society site. So this is part of the blog. Sector 3 cold storage. Now the hideout's not physical location of hideouts under construction won't be available. So all these places are available in the loadout screen, but apparently they're doing some work to them. So what we enjoyed before is not likely going to be accessible. Menu has been updated. Actually got a theme song. Visor Cortexes like mine are going to be displayed. Variant ID tag 9er Tango 1 will be available for looting. Procedural color and character design. Variant claws can be placed with auto design. Color combination of the outfit and gear. Color will change each time they enter the tower is not persistent. That's cool. No, that's alright with me. Personally, I think skins and things like that, as far as the characters, kind of give an advantage. So if that's random, that's going to be a whole nother level to it. Persistent inventory, that's amazing because before it wasn't. There's so many things I collected that's no longer I'm gonna have. Armor system, polished weapons, deep freeze collection, weapon mods, some equipment.
Now the game, when it ships, is going to be free to play to everybody.
36 players.
This audience is going to be massive.
All right,
now
let's
we're
go.
talking about that
Back
early
here.
community who's involved, and it's time to get into the game. We've talked about expanding. It's time to get into the game. This game wouldn't be possible without every member of Midnight Society, especially the dev team, most of which who are here today. See Brighton sitting front row and center. Allison, our game producer, looking great. This ever-expanding team that continues to show up and deliver. Like, look at that. The amount that we have grown in just 12 months. Not just our community, but this team.
Yeah,
It's crazy. They've got quite a few people. So many people.
Team, to see this dev team come together, what we've been able to execute on. Thank you so much for all your hard work. Now, let's talk about the game itself.
Finally.
Okay?
Let's do it.
All right, so DEADROP takes place in the year 2020B, okay? It's set in a tough, violent world that is seen through the lens as if the 80s and 90s has never ended.
Now that's the world of DEADROP. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of where we're going to be fighting in the cold storage, Sector 3.
So Sector 3, as Rob said, we lovingly call it cold storage. This environment is something that is unlike you've seen before in games. As we said, we're making a vertical extraction shooter. What that means, it's not just you having to worry about things on your left, things on your right, in front of you, behind you. We've dealt with that before. We've played games like that before, right? This is not just 360 degrees. This is a full 720 degrees of carnage.
Up, down, left, right.
As you traverse through this space, you need to keep in mind not just other players like Rob.
It's not just being in a single building and have to worry about 2 or 3 levels, you know, with a couple ladders or stairways. This is going to be like, people are going to be on the outside of certain levels and climbing up, and they're going to pop up or jump down.
To the max, the Z-axis, the exploitation of that.
It's going to be crazy, man.
Let's hear more from the dev team themselves about cold storage. Let's hear from Allison, our game producer, Darren, our art director, and Brad, our level designer.
Sector 3 takes everything we learned from hundreds of playtests in Proving Ground and your feedback to amp up the action in Snapshot 5. What you're about to experience is an accumulation of everything that we've learned from the last year and our founder community, including the addition of weapon modification, maintaining a persistent inventory, loot
Just
stacking,
notice that this has a bit of audio delay. I'm not sure if it's their recording or if it's just my stream here.
The Proxy Plus art style. This is the art team's first pass, which introduces an overall aesthetic and theme to our world. Proxy Plus is a sizable step ahead of the pure blockout shapes and colors of Snapshot 4, but it isn't the end of the story for the art team. Once we move beyond Proxy Plus, we'll be moving on to the refinement and polish passes throughout the year.
When it comes to gameplay in cold storage,
apparently everyone else is seeing the same audio delays, so
an expansive arena with danger looming in every direction. POIs across the map, from tight corridors to vast open spaces, have been designed in a way to make them feel very different from each other and allow
this is all brand new.
Styles to shine.
All
Taking
this,
inspiration from
all the
classic
different
arena-style shooters, we made sure that
elements,
every nook and cranny offers over, under, and around flow.
all these different
giving
elements
player opportunities to master our movement mechanics
are
and
brand
become
new.
An absolute predator. We also took special care to plant hidden routes to reward players for using their creativity and give them the upper hand or make a quick escape.
But a map's design is only as good as the game's mechanics.
The funny thing is, a lot of this borrows from the Proving Grounds. It's guaranteed that most of this is the Proving Grounds, made into cold storage.
We're excited to introduce the Rising Freeze.
Oh.
The moment you drop into Sector 3, the clock begins ticking as a
This
wave
is
of
Proving
frozen
Grounds.
death drifts up from the bottom of the map, pushing players upward. If you're looking for a challenge, try racing both the freeze and other players to the very bottom of the map, where a treasure trove of loot is waiting.
Take too long, and the area becomes engulfed in both hostile players and the deadly freeze. As time passes, the rising freeze forces you to make a choice. Will you
Yeah,
search for
the
a way to make an
audio's
early extraction, or will you climb upward to beat the
trash.
freeze and take down other combatants along the way?
One of the biggest new features for Snapshot 5 is sector-specific shutdowns. If players survive until the final moments, they'll be brought to the very top of the shipping hub, where a massive lift will be waiting to bring them to safety, unless they decide to kill each other first. After our very first playtest with the Rising Freeze, everything clicked. Our core gameplay loop felt stickier, deadlier, and more compelling than ever. The Rising Freeze is the very first of many shutdown mechanics that are on the way, and it's ridiculously fun.
Just a little further. Just a little further.
Let's go! So, most of this, like I said, is built off of the proving grounds.
Who messed it up?
Alex! Come on, man.
You gotta blame him. Okay. Let's make one thing perfectly clear. Great.
The second thing.
The second thing. Besides Alex being fired.
Alex is fired.
The second thing, to make perfectly clear here, is that the Rising Freeze is no joke, okay? It is something that is going to kill you quickly. It is not something that you can just hide out in. It is relentless. Once it starts, you need to take it into account no matter what. If it's near you, you've got to get away. It is something that cannot be bartered with, okay? It has no feelings. It feels no remorse.
It's not going to be like any other
In the Rising Freeze, you are going to die.
battle royale where you can just hang out and pop a shield and heal yourself and heal yourself and heal yourself. No, you're dead.
And luckily, Sector 3 is stacked with a variety of theatrical extraction
And I hope so.
Now,
Inside,
all of these extraction points
people
are
will
different.
camp out in
You're gonna wanna
the
communicate,
hazard areas.
chat, negotiate, and if you have to, fight your way to each of these unique extraction points. And they're going to be all over the map, opening at different times. But to dive into them, let's go over to Ryan Thompson to talk about the new extractions in Sector 3.
Let's do it. Let's see him. They did a hell of a job on the production, even though that last video was kind of scuffed.
Just a little further. Just a little further. I made it.
Along with the bone-chilling Rising Freeze shutdown, we're introducing
this one's scuffed too.
Extractions. First is the zipline extraction. It's always in the same location and is accessible as soon as extractions become available. But if you wait too long, the area will be too dangerous to reach due to the Rising Freeze. The zipline extraction is a great option for players who want to get out early. Second, we have the chopper extraction. This extraction point is only available once per run. Attempting to call the chopper will put you in a very vulnerable position, but when your back's against the wall, this might be the only option you have. As far as dramatic exits go, this one is the action hero's way out. Third is the mag lock. These exits are dynamically placed around the map on a per-run basis. Activating the gate will definitely attract some unwanted attention, and the wait for the doors to open can feel excruciating. But once you see the light, you're home free. Our final extraction method for Sector 3 is the super lift. Once the Rising Freeze has overwhelmed the rest of the map, the only way out is up. At the top of the sector is a huge platform that can escort any number of players to safety. But once the doors shut, who knows what will happen? Build enough trust with other players and you could all make it out alive together. By providing a variety of unique options for extraction, players can be really
This is really cool.
and make decisions on the fly.
Considering that in most games that are
What if you fail to extract?
right now,
Here's where things get really
you
interesting.
get in the zone and you just extract. That's it.
In DEADROP, rise high or die trying.
This gives
You
so
die
many
for
different
time
options
vengeance
to
and retribution
get
will come.
in the game
Snapshot
and
5,
get
You
out.
now have the choice to respawn as a sin. Death isn't the end. fallen claws have an option to re-infiltrate the tower with their synthetic counterparts in an effort to reclaim their death bag and drops. Currently, there are no gameplay differences when playing as a Sin. You can loot, extract, and even win the dead drop.
Players will be able to respawn as a Sin twice before they are fully dead. To keep a balance with other players, Sins spawn in with a single pistol. Players will not be able to respawn as a Sin when the final extraction round begins.
So you're kind of limited. You either get out early and give you a second chance, or if you're at the very end, if you're past that final countdown point, you're kind of screwed. So
I hope you all are having fun out here as we're having fun backstage.
Considering there's 32 players going to be on a map,
okay, so
and
let's talk about what we saw up there, and that is in regards to
able to jump back in.
Short for synthetic life form. It's something that is just what you see in Snapshot 5 is just the beginning of what we're doing with Sins. Okay, they are right now essentially in Snapshot 5 our respawn mechanic because we wanted the right pacing. We want a lot of action in the experience. We wanted to be snapshots where someone died and they were just out, and it's not something they can come back to. So we're using Sins as our way to get people back in the experience, but be sure that we have big visions for our Sins going forward and what we're going to do with them, how they're going to be represented in the game, the differences they bring to the table, how you play with them, what you want to do with them. Lots more to come on Sins gameplay. This is just the beginning. Just as everything else we've done in Dead Drop and throughout our snapshots, just like when you saw in Snapshot 1, our very first weapon, there's going to be more weapons, and Rob's going to talk about all the weapons that you're going to be seeing in Snapshot 5.
Sins just represent the beginning of a feature. They are relevant and deep in the lore of Dead Drop and the universe of Dead Drop, and right now they're a really great respawn mechanic, but they're going to play such a big role. And just like you've seen our weapons develop over time, in Snapshot 1, we had the first rifle, and then we started introducing some proxy weapons. You got to feel them out, see how they felt, give some feedback on them, and then we continue to polish them every single snapshot. And what I'm excited about in Snapshot 5, you're finally getting to go hands-on with some of our most polished weapons. And not just the looks of them, but the features have been refined based on your feedback over every single snapshot. Introducing new features such as weapon mods, things that augment the gameplay, and all of that. Now, we always want the team to speak for the parts that they're focused on, so we're gonna hand it off to one of our weapons artists who's gonna go deep into the weapons, how they look, and all of that. But I mean, that is what this is all about, is continuing to expand the game, every feature, and what you're gonna see as you play Snapshot 5 is the environment continues to evolve too. Right now, you're gonna see polished weapons. We're gonna dive into that. You're gonna see, oh, how good they look.
Yep.
The skins. In that trailer, you already saw deep freeze, how you'll be able to customize them. And then the sector is gonna continue to get that same sort of love. Right now, we are in the Proxy Plus stage.
Yeah.
But the weapons, they're fully polished. Let's throw it to Brandon, and he'll dive deep into our process.
So it's good that they actually took the time to kind of build out the weapons more. And all the mods. And because some of them, I don't think, were that well developed.
Dead Drop takes gunplay to new heights, and we're giving you the weapons.
Well, of course they weren't, but
in Snapshot 5, we're bringing you the semi-auto pistol.
The audio's fixed. Yes!
Pump shotgun, DMR,
At least for now.
and AR, all with improvements to make them look and feel unique and satisfying. One big differentiator with Dead Drop weapons is the introduction of the mod chip that changes the behavior of your weapon. We've got 12 attachments from scopes, lenses, and lasers to magazines and stocks that will help you customize your weapon, play the way you want, and give you an edge over enemy combatants in the tower. We've also introduced our first gadget, a smoke grenade, for stealthy extractions, speedy getaways, and temporary cover for maximum loot.
I'm sure they're going to polish that up a bit. They got tilting in this now too, which I don't remember. If that was a thing in 4.
What you've seen here tonight, all right? Now, I just want to get one thing.
But we'll see.
There's something that when you hear about this game, right? You see, gaming outlets, they pick up the game, they talk about it, they say, hey, Dr. Disrespect's new game, okay? I want to say one thing. It's not just Dr. Disrespect's game, okay? It's not just Robert Bowling's game. It's not just Quinn DeLoyo's game. It's also Helmet Fire's game, right?
Where you at, boy?
Where are you at?
Look.
Okay. It's also
He's one of the variants.
Cozy's game, right?
Another variant.
There's Cozy.
Cozy!
Yeah. It's also Dr. Disrespect's game. Okay. It's also
Cozy.
Roman's game. I see you, Roman, in the second row. Okay. So when you see these outlets pick it up, keep in mind, and you remember, you take pride that this is all of our game. Okay. This is DEADROP. All of us are making this game together. We are all a part of this.
And every single claw that gets the tower pass will be part of it too.
It's time to see a little gameplay, little hands-on, a little competition. Pro v pro, Doc v everyone. We're gonna take a little break. We're gonna get the rumble set up, the showdown. We're gonna throw it over to Katie, and she's gonna take us through all of the gameplay of Sector 3. Let's get into it.
Alright, so man, I want to get in there. I know they're going to be playing. So I want to watch more of this. I really do. Alright, so back to this real quick. Obviously they talked about the thin deployment, so you can get back in with a synthetic body as a second chance to reclaim your stuff or grab other people's stuff and have another chance to get out. And of course, the whole reason for the name of the game is if you're the last person in raid, I guess. I forget how they're, the time period that for the match. If you're the last one, you can get your pick of whatever loot that's been left. So that's the whole name of the game with DEADROP. So if you want to risk it and you're 1v1, you can get everything that's left and your choice. So looting's been streamlined and now quick to move an item, auto sort, which is great because that was so painful. Weapon customization, they went over that. Movement updates, you can now lean. Okay, I didn't think that it was in Snapshot 4, but now you can lean when you aim down sight of a gun. Improvements in hang on ledges, remove the ability default to be able to go up a zip line. And you no longer have to holster for zip lines, ladders, or pipes, which was a pain as well, because you had to put it away, then you had to grab hold in the right place of the ladder to climb up it, or the zip line, or that's good. I knew that they were gonna fix that. That was an obvious easy fix. Well, probably not easy to fix, but easy change to make, as far as logic goes. I don't know what they really mean about going up a zip line. I guess you can't hand over hand go up a zip line anymore. And they're running on Unreal 5.1 now instead of just 5.0, which is also cool. Controller support greatly improved. Now there's claws and variants. So variants like myself will have the visor Cortex. Claws will have a standard helmet. And variants will be wearing a variant hoodie, t-shirts, or hoodie and shirts, and claws will have claw shirts. That's the claw symbol on the Midnight Society shirt I'm wearing. Only variants can have a variant tag. Claws will not have a collectible tag, and Proxy Plus is solely to support the gameplay. We're just getting started. Okay, cool. So that's the release notes. You can read them all in detail off of Midnight Society's site by yourself if you want. Kind of get back to the variant guide. I can show all this off. No problem with that. Proxy Plus is basically what they would consider right here in the middle. So Blockout was the original kind of proving ground, and some of the areas of the hideouts before they put a lot of the art in place. Actually, some of the hideout was even in refinement stage, because they polished it up quite a bit. But the proving ground was very much Blockout, and in between in some places Proxy. With Snapshot 4 it became a little bit more Proxy, so it wasn't the lines and stuff. It had more of a finished wall. This is what it's gonna kind of look like instead of just a room. So there's actual detail of like equipment and other stuff. Proxy Plus being in the middle here, where it's actually got some artwork attached to the walls and the objects, and start to see it. And they say that refinement stage is almost there, which basically it's like they just need to go through and just copy paste, put everything in place, and as far as designs, and then go through and tweak it with the polish. So they first released Proving Ground, which looks a lot like cold storage in parts of the tower, but it's not. Although they did copy some elements, I can tell from this. The garage, they added this a while back. They added different bags, and they've updated the artwork for the bags. And here they've given the variants a nice codec to go through and kind of decode and give us a little bit of sneak peek on stuff. So here's the the variant guide continues to be built. So here's Snapshot 3. You can see that they had healing stations, loot boxes. It very much is a block out stage with all the lines and everything, and in some areas being a sort of proxy with some objects. Here they were going into the weapons. They added a few bits and pieces about blueprints of things. Here they added the advanced movement and the backpacks with Snapshot 4. And then here was Snapshot 5. The tower reveal. So Sector 3, cold storage. You have the freezing, rising freeze that you need to avoid. You got the zipline extract, the chopper extract, the mag lock doors, which are all over the maps, and then the super lift as far as extracts. So multiple choices, multiple ways to get out. If you're in a spot where you really don't think that you're going to be able to get to where you need to go, you better be hitting the mag lock door and getting out. So the helmets are a little bit different for the visor quartexes. I don't know if they're going to be changing those up and eventually adding in the original version of the helmet, but I can see a variety of them in the future. Here's some art styles of the different synth art.
Please hear some noise from Midnight Society and DEADROP.
Weapon skins, and a little bit more of a teaser. And
thanks to our event host Optic Gaming, the esports stadium.
That's it for the very back.
Event sponsor Cheez-It for making this event a possibility to everyone in the venue. You saw the gameplay stations. They'll be open to event attendees following the DEADROP showdown presented by Cheez-It. We'll also, on top of that, have a meet and greet with the Midnight Society dev team, including Dr. Disrespect and that very fancy new chain, and some of the biggest creators in the building. But the moment is finally here. We've been talking about it all day long. Ladies and gentlemen, Variants and Claws, Midnight Society, and Optic, buckle up, because our main event is about to begin, and it wouldn't be a true showdown without some of the biggest names dropping into Sector 3. On one side of the ring, the 6'8" gaming phenom, Dr. Disrespect, the back-to-back blockbuster video champion and one of the founders of Midnight Society. On the other, some stiff competition, Optic Gaming, Greenwall fans in attendance and online. These names need no introduction.
But they will anyway.
Castro, Karma, Dashi, Shotzi, and more. They bleed green, and they brought some insanely talented folks with them, including Dr. Lupo. But who will extract? Who will survive the rising freeze? The odds are pretty stacked. The DEADROP showdown presented by Cheez-It starts now.
Step bomb!
Robin Quinn, thank you for joining me, by the way.
Thank you.
You guys did such a good job on stage. I was glad to be able to snag you away to sit down and have a chat while we get to watch.
Terrible Brad play every single day.
Why are you always picking on
Listen,
Brad?
Dude,
Because he loves it.
I don't know. We don't have time. We don't have time to get into it. But I am finally going to get to see some of the best DEADROP gameplay of my life. And that's what I'm excited for. I want to see how a real good player plays.
So, I don't think you should.
Real good player.
I should not.
No.
No.
But no, you're right. We really do have some incredible talent here, some of the best in the world. And I heard behind the scenes, apparently Dr. Lupo's frying everybody right now. So, our first DEADROP will be him.
We'll see.
I mean, I'm not gonna
We'll
lie.
see.
I saw him sneak in here like 3 hours before everybody, running runs.
He was, yeah.
It's
You're like, if you don't tell anyone you're here early, I won't tell anyone.
Yeah, if you're practicing, you're practicing, man.
He was doing all right. He was talking trash too. He was doing well. So yeah.
Well, and I love the rising freeze mechanic that you guys have been explaining because I think it is a unique take on how a function like that can work. And I was actually able to experience it, and it doesn't mess around. The damage over time that it puts out, you guys said it, right? You can't make a play in that.
Not wearing his glasses.
To in other games.
Wonder if,
and it's going to be interesting to see kind of the way it funnels everyone into each other, especially.
Or if he's wearing contacts, or if he
Yes, and the crazy thing is that you have to note is
surgery.
the highest spawns.
I doubt
and
it,
best
because
stuff
he's
is
got
at the bottom
thick
of the
lenses.
tower. So if you want to get down there, try to find the really good stuff, but you're also exposing yourself to being hit by the rising freeze first, right? So what you end up happening is like all the really well-kitted players, the good players, always dock, find them at the top of the tower, waiting for the people fleeing the freeze, right? But like, you'll notice, and they'll pick it up. If they haven't played yet, they'll pick it up fast. And as soon as you hear that siren, as soon as you see
you gotta go.
The frost starting to take over, like, book it. Either to an extraction point if one's nearby, but if not, then head up the tower.
Well, and I wonder because this is also something I was hearing. I was talking with some of the players who will be competing in the showdown today. I think we've got 3 maps worth of gameplay, 24 total folks sitting down for this. And they were talking about proximity chat, right? And look, proximity chat can be great for you. You can maybe make alliances. Hey, there's 3 people left. Maybe 2 people meet up and say, hey, we're going to go get to the lift, take out that final player, and then we'll extract. But I feel like there's going to be some betrayals on the horizon.
Oh yeah, I mean, we love what proximity chat brings to the table because it's just the emergent type of gameplay that it brings, right? It's just being able to, when you hear someone, like when we play, you could tell who's got like really clicky keyboards. So I hear their keyboards clicking, I'm like, okay, someone's nearby, and then I start calling out, hey, are you friendly? We cool? We cool? You cool? I'll be cool if you're cool. And you do that all the time, and it just comes with these such fun experiences. And that's one of the things that we're just most excited about to see in Snapshot 5. And we know we had it in Snapshot 4, but just this combined with the rising freeze, the full gameplay loop for the first time in DEADROP, that's what really makes us all excited about this.
When you talk about that loop, right? And I feel like something like proximity chat, Rob, you were talking about when it comes to the best loot being at the bottom of the map and the verticality of it, it all leads into what kind of play style you have. Are you risk averse? Are you someone who maybe wants to stay on those upper levels? You don't want to have to deal with working your way up. Are you someone who's going to play? You're going to go for broke. You're going to go down, get that best loot, and try and get that dead drop. But when it comes to something like vertical extraction, the question might raise for someone in the crowd, someone online, how do you balance that upper level dominance? Usually we call it, the high ground, right? So how do you manage something like that when you're creating a vertical extraction shooter?
Yeah.
I mean, the way we balance it, honestly, is just there's just little things that we did. Like, we wanted to make sure that it wasn't always the same experience, even though the freeze always happens at the same time and everything. But we wanted players to all spawn near the middle of the sector, not too high, not too low. So then you're really forced to have that decision. I
Jesus.
go up top because maybe I've already got gear that I'm set. I want to get in good position to try to take out people that are coming, or like you said, do I want to go down low and risk it? For me personally, I always like to go down low and try to get, because there's just so much good stuff down there.
So you're risky. You're just going for everything.
Yeah, I'm all about that, and it's just fun. Like, it has this like feeling. We almost talk about it like it's the floor is lava when you're a kid and you play. I mean, I got my nephews here in the audience today, so they know all about the floor is lava. But it's just like you play that, and like the freeze is coming up, it's super dangerous, and you've got to get to certain high ground, almost like a rat trying to escape from a sinking ship. And that is something that's very different just from other games where everything is just super horizontal. And we knew we couldn't go with the horizontal approach to a game that is so vertical in its DNA.
But also balancing it out, like, and this pains me to say, but Brad did a really good job of adding a good diversity of routes up to the top of the tower. So you really have to explore the map, because the obvious routes to get up are choke points, right? They're obviously going to be covered by somebody who's waiting for people to come up. But there are vertical pipes, there are lifts, there are ladders. There is a lot of advanced movement routes to get to the same or similar spots that are less obvious, right? But if you can find them, it's a nice reward, right? You can sneak your way up to the top of the tower, not go through that obvious route that is going to be high combat area. So really look around, and that helps balance it because you really have to sort of think about like, okay, I'm here, but I can't cover every possible route to this top point.
Yeah, so it can encourage creativity. If you know, if you've spent the time, if you've done all the drops into Sector 3, and you know all those maybe ratty ways to sneak away, Quinn, as you were mentioning. But I gotta know, because you've talked about all these different ways to extract, right? Do you guys have a personal preference, your favorite way so far, whether it's zip lines, and we've talked about the helicopter, of course you got the maglogs, the lift at the end. Is there anything that you prefer, you think is your favorite?
For me personally, it's the maglock gates. They're so much fun because they are not always in the same spot. And we have a lot of them placed in the environment, but not all of them show up every time the match runs. So it creates a little bit of this random element that it's a really fun thing to find. And when you find it, it is this really cool experience. Like, okay, I found one. And there's no nav points. There's nothing in the screen that tells you or other players where they are. You have to find them. And when you do, it's just really cool to have that experience. Do I want to take it right now? And if I do, it's going to create a big alarm, and the siren is going to go around so everyone can hear in the nearby area.
They're already shit talking each other.
And the door doesn't open up right away. It takes around 30 seconds. So you then have this moment where you got to transition to, now I've got to sit and defend my position if I want to extract. But the cool thing is, the other twist that we added to those is that when it opens, it's not like when I go through it now closes. It'll stay open for a little bit. So what's fun about that, again, coming back to proximity chat, you could have a conversation with someone, because someone comes up and like, hey, someone's using a maglock, I want to go get him. And then, hey man, like, I just want to use this thing. You want to use it together? Can we
I'm
strike
that
a
person.
deal?
I'm the one who's going to try and make friends with everyone.
Totally right. So you could strike that deal because like you could both actually use it. It's not a first come, first serve situation. So it's just these little nuanced things that create this emergent gameplay that we love. And that's just the maglock gate alone. The other ones have their own twist that we love.
Yeah.
Well, Rob, Quinn said something at the very beginning of that actually leads into something I'm excited about. I wanted to ask you about specifically, and that was a little something fun. And there's a lot of little somethings that are fun that you have put all throughout Sector 3. Some of those are the magazines and comics that we've heard a lot about. Now, I'm a big lore person. Something that hooks me into a game is going to be that lore. I want to know about DEADROP. I want to know about the world and variants and the claws and everything. So are there any Easter eggs, any information, any lore tidbits you can give us about things like that?
The comics are 100% Easter eggs, right? We call them the Dirk Sappums. They're like penny dreadfuls hidden around the map. The cover of every single one is an Easter egg about an upcoming feature. Now, they all have the Codex Operandum on them. So once you're able to see them in their full glory, you'd be able to sort of pick apart all the Easter eggs. But what I love is like looting in the game, like obviously everybody wants weapons and attachments and armor and the stuff that's going to help them better at the game, help them customize their playstyle. But the collectible items, we really want to drive that forward, right? The comics are really cool because they're going to be a way to expose lore to players, right? And just like every other feature in the game continues to expand, I want the comics to do the same thing, right? Like, yeah, right now you can find them, you can collect them. They're ultra rare, so it feels really good when you get the whole collection, right? And then eventually, who knows where we go with it.
Lupo being weird.
Close. I'm hearing some mysteries from the crowd. I think talk about it. Dr. Lupo's up there. We see Z-Laner getting ready for all the excitement.
Oh, Z's.
Something like those comics. Is there a
Z's calling Dr. D out, wherever else.
No, so that's all one unit, right? There's going to be there's going to be a collection of different collectibles. The comics are one of them.
When you put these on, get locked in.
Right? And what we're always talking about as a dev team is how can we give those collectibles utility, something that you can do with them in match, so there's a reason to collect them. Sometimes they're just cool collectibles. Right?
You know there's people in here who don't know what a floppy disk is, right?
Yes.
Does that hurt you a little bit?
They're going to find out.
I don't know what it is.
Wow, look at all those different PCs.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's going to be so many variants there that are going to be able to play.
I do know.
That's crazy. That's good.
very
Glad.
shortly, and well, shortly is actually
I
right
kinda
now.
worried
It is
about that.
time. The Dead Drop Showdown presented by Cheez-It is underway. Let's jump right into the action.
Yippee!
Best in the business. Now, we have 3 maps. Rob, are you expecting a lot of Dead Drop victories in particular, or you think we're going to see a lot of people trying to take different extractions?
I don't think anybody from this crew is trying to extract. At least not right now. I think once they figure out how hard it is to get the dead drop, you'll start seeing some early extractions, building up their stash, getting out with some weapons. But right now, I think all these guys are killers.
So we have Snap up on screen
Most of them are.
now and already into a few engagements, and the looting has felt
Nice.
a lot more fluid. I know that now it's just a drag and drop. You can put it right onto your gun, and
You
get
can
those
automatically pick it
attachments.
up too.
But I think a strong gun as
Says,
well in his hands.
clicking
to
on
start off.
something and
Do
drag
you
you
guys
into
have personal
place.
favorites when you're on the map?
Nice.
I mean, my personal favorite, honestly.
That's
I
a
love
cool
the shotgun.
mechanic.
Shotgun
I like
play,
that.
Even though
You're a
this,
corner camper, aren't you?
I tend to camp every once in a while. I don't like to admit that I do it a lot, but
Taken out by Dashy.
See, he's already
yeah, so
out.
I just love the work that we're doing with shotguns in the game, and we are doing everything we can to make
Loading
sure
back
that we have
in.
a place in a world like this that is super brutal.
Ooh, Z got
Look
scuffed.
at that. We've got some nice Z-Laner eliminations. Dashy Optic doing well so far. Maybe no surprise there.
Yeah, our variants will notice that, like, he didn't have to holster his weapon to go up that ladder earlier.
Yeah.
Fluid movement.
I want to know.
So this.
Should we make
Now,
fun
why
of
this?
specific here?
Why
I
this
think, well,
area?
this is what we were talking about, like certain choke points, but this you could see from this shot alone just this sheer verticality of this,
Right.
the place of what you had come to expect in the tower, and this is just one sector in the tower. There's going to be different sectors, different level design, but the one common place is that the Z-axis and verticality is going to take major spotlights in the gameplay.
Yeah, the thing is that crane is in a super effective spot if you have a sniper with an optic on it, right? But if you don't, you're not going to want to be up there. You're not going to do any damage, right?
Stump's right
You
up
really
here,
gotta
ready to
tailor the
go
routes that
at
you're
extracting
taking.
out
Place your posts up
that
based on the loadout that you're building on the fly.
mega lift.
So, are you saying
Or
then if you're
super
up there,
lift,
saying that
or
you're throwing a scope on that,
yeah,
you're
already
not
what
gonna
they
be
called it.
as many
You're going to
dividends
tickle them.
sniper specific.
You're going to tickle them, but you're not going to be as effective. And
You're
you
just
gotta-
saying hello.
Yeah, and you got to remember, this is a extraction shooter, right? You're not going for kills. You're going for kills that you can then lose. So if sniping a guy across the map, if you're not able to get over there and clean him out, unless you're planning to just go for the dead drop,
Yeah.
like you're leaving with nothing but that sniper that's in your hands.
And you're potentially giving loot to other people that are nearby.
So now that we're
They
at
got
the
some
beginning of map
graffiti
one,
art and stuff
Jared, what is the
posted.
timeline we're on
Oh, this
for
is
the
cool.
alerts, those sirens. And that's why you
That
you climb that ladder and sometimes
overhead
it does
look.
not pay off. How much time are they going to have before
Oh,
the
that
sirens
looks
go
so
off
sick.
at Rising Freeze?
Rising Freeze starts at 2 minutes
2
every
minutes.
match. And that's
Two
deterministic. It's always going to
time.
be 2 minutes. We're trying to strike that right balance of how much in the game is there a sense of, randomness to a degree. And
I guess
also how
that they're
much in there
playing
is deterministic, things that happen all the time. That
team
players
versus
can't
team
count.
in this.
And as a
They're
devs, we're
they're
always
doing their
trying
own
to
matchmaking
we're
in
not
some
too
way.
far one direction.
So I doubt I'm going to be able
Too far in the
to
other
get
direction.
in a
So
game
that's
with
something that
one
we're
of
working
these
on.
guys,
Yeah,
at
Knockberry
least
has
at the
somebody's wearing an
moment.
ID tag.
Yeah,
Who'd he loot?
I don't know.
But I guarantee you that they're going to be playing the game
I
here
love the announcement you did as well about
more, or I would at least most of them would want to
If you take down Doc himself.
here there.
Oh, yeah.
Eventually, whether it's in your hideout or otherwise, being able to show off that you've done that. And I think, are you able to get one, multiple? Can you kind of
Not necessarily on stream,
Yeah,
maybe
so,
off
variant
stream.
ID tags are a collectible just like anything else. So if you kill somebody multiple times, you're constantly can get
So
their
when you're
tag
picking
out
on
of them.
Brad a whole lot, you're gonna have this.
I
whole-
have a stack of Brad variant IDs so high.
That is not true.
It is.
Rack
no,
up
to
those
your question,
tags.
Yeah, 100%. If you're able to kill a variant and get their identity tag multiple times, yeah, you could have that multiple times. And here's the thing, right now, people playing the game are all variants. People that are getting the tower key, we're going to now start getting more of those people that are not. And so that's what's going to be really cool as a founder, people that are or variant, they have that visor cortex, and they get to stand out. They get to be a bit of a unicorn or a peacock, right? They get to show off, and that is something that is so exciting for us as a dev team to fulfill that promise to our founders that wanted to get in this game with us a year ago. It's our reward to them, and that's something that we just love doing at Midnight Society.
We have Dashy up on the screen, already seen.
That was a risky move because fall damage was a big deal in this game.
I think was able to take down, I'm not sure who, but more
Man,
than
some of the
just
UI and stuff, they brought on some killer people.
It's impressive that Hook is playing.
They've really stepped up on
We're still
a
working
lot
on
of things.
make
It
that
was
better,
completely different
a lot of
and
work has gone into that, and I think we just love
way
seeing
better.
people to be able to play on both.
It's
mouse
gonna
and
look
controller.
fantastic here in another year, 2 years, when this game is finally
Our animations are
to the
looking
point where
good.
it's in a, I would say in a beta state
What's it
at
like?
that
I've gotta
point.
imagine that's
And
something
it's
special.
probably gonna be 3 years before it's actually a
Snapshot
full
one down here
released
with Snapshot 5.
game
Seeing
still.
The DEADROP showdown, some of the best fight it out. And Bonsai holding such a strong power
Stone
position,
got
has
just
managed to take out
smacked.
multiple people at this point. No reason to even leave, but to see this now, that's gotta be incredible.
Yeah, it's fun because
Gotta get down
he's
there,
up
huh?
there, he's finding success.
You
but
gotta
other
get
people
down
now
there.
know he's up there, so it's going to be interesting to see how long can he keep it up because more and more eyes are going to be looking over there.
Yeah, that crane
Ooh.
is super vulnerable to that position he's shooting at right now. If another sniper gets up on the top of communication, then he's done for.
He's just watching that ladder. I hope he knows there's another ladder behind him.
It'll be more fun if he doesn't. Nice shot through the floorboards. We'll see if Hoop may be able to take him, but hey, Doc says Bonsai's not going to get you. Doc certainly is.
Let's see what happens here between these two.
Another showdown. This position so effective. That healing animation efficient too, really quick.
I'm feeling that they're actually running on a different
that's a new
build
feature
of the
Snapshot
game
5, being able to find
in a
bandages on the
different
fly,
server
heal on the
direct.
run, not have to go to a
Because the
light
graphics at the kill screen
See, that's what
are
I'm saying. There's so many
different.
eyes attracted to him up there.
Or maybe it's the same. I don't know. We'll see when
Looks like
I
we have
actually
about
get in the game. But
17 left, so a decent amount taken down, but I'm looking excited. I can't wait for the Rising Freeze to start funneling people into each other.
we'll really
Each
see here.
person, when they die, they'll be able to come back as a sin twice. And slowly they'll dwindle down.
If you come back as a sin, you're beelining it to reach out the person who took you out, right?
That's what I do. I want to
You
get.
gotta ego chow that. You gotta go find
I
that
want to
person.
get back to my bag
Absolutely.
as fast as possible. Kill whoever's trying to loot
Yep.
it.
Get your crap
Get my
back, man.
stuff back.
Get your tag back.
That's one of the longer vertical flanks in the game.
No kidding. But makes it up, thankfully, without too much difficulty.
He's really looking around. He just want to get out of here.
Yeah, this is up here. This is the highest point in the map. This is where the freeze.
See ya, Fab.
So if you're up here first, especially in these type of matches where you don't have a lot of loot and everyone's starting very equal, you hope to at least get a couple pickoffs and then have loot brought to you. So now we're just shopping here.
When you're shopping, you're gonna have various. We get into a
Ooh.
gunfight. Crypto, unfortunately, not able to find their way out. But there's gonna be different levels of armor, right? And helmets.
There's a right. There's freeze there.
And the body armor. They'll reduce the damage taken to that part of the body.
So you see Scump here, he had to move up right there because he was being pushed. from the right
Doc
screen.
just smacked the crap out of him. Right, the rising freeze is upon them.
And that was Bonsai had 3 eliminations, but Hook and Dashy just seem to be a problem on this map right now. 7 eliminations.
You're getting
for Dashy.
chatty.
1v1 between those two at this point.
It's going to come down.
Oh,
He's got to do a lot of healing.
Bobby!
There's our proximity chat, I believe.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Come
So when
on.
you're eliminated, do you have a moment to talk in Prox chat? You can?
Yeah, it's fun. I remember a fun interaction between me and Rob. He killed me, and then I was talking to him, and it's just this fun experience of like the bag is talking to you, the death bag.
There's quite a few creators that are there that are not necessarily on the stage, it seems like.
We hope that carries through.
But part of probably the rest,
we want to have more interactions between players.
There was an early iteration where that respawn timer was super quick. And we realized through playtesting that you lose that opportunity to talk shit to the guy who killed you, to give him some information.
Oh, absolutely.
Or to warn your teammates that you were running around with that somebody just shot you in the back.
Or, hey, you're really good. Can we party up?
Yeah.
Hop in together.
Oh,
no! Well, Hook,
Oh, that's what happens.
in case you were curious, full damage doesn't mess around.
Yeah, it is a vertical extraction shooter. So there's things that, again, level design you need to take into account, your placement, where enemies' placement are.
Look at those spiders or cortexes.
I know I've seen a few people jumping off things, but there's kind of that moment of know your turn where you go, oh no, you've jumped from too high.
Yeah.
This is not going to end well for you.
If you could have called it a zip line, he would have been good.
We have Hitch in an engagement.
Grim just got smacked.
Elimination Bonsai taking a look at some of this armor. But well, you get caught out looting, and that's what can happen.
Hitch.
Shotgun's a beast.
The shotgun sucked before. They must have
You to
updated it.
That shotgun. How pivotal is it that you hit those shots
Oh.
time or anything else?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the shotgun. There's 4 shotguns in the game. I mean, the double barrel is particularly tricky because you get 2 shots quickly, and then after that, you're going to have to take a long reload penalty, and you got to be really close. So that's the one you see on screen here with Hitch. But yeah,
Nice.
we've got 6 weapons that are
Man.
really far along in the art process.
Get a sniper in Hitch's
all the
hands.
rest,
Jeez.
Not so much, but you know, that's the beauty of making a game and sharing it with people while you develop it, is that we aren't holding things back when we put them out there to always look pretty all the time. That's not our goal. Our goal is to literally take
You got another minute or so left.
that's a snapshot. That is a literal snapshot in time of where the game is at.
You can see, I think some folks already at those very high levels. We only have, I believe, 7 people remaining at this point. So this is going to be where
That's an interesting tactic there. Drop everything and then pick it up so auto sorts.
You'll hear it once it starts up, and it will come down, the walls will lower, and you have that opportunity to get on, form some fragile alliances, because if you all stay on there, you can all extract together.
I can't imagine there's going to be any alliances here today.
I don't see it.
Hitch
Yeah,
tries to
you
make
missed
it
2
happen.
shots right there with the shotgun.
Well, so then I'm curious. So we just saw Rambo get that nice win over Hitch. Is there a limit to that point, that timer where you can't respawn in as a Sin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Karma.
Yeah, so you do get 2 respawns, but if you, near the end of the match, the respawns turn off because the play space has shrunk so much that we don't want to have anything feel cheated, where people feel like the game cheated them.
Grim came back.
Right next to them. So again, it's all a balance of where we're at currently in development.
So from a lore standpoint, what you're doing is you're calling in a synthetic version of yourself that you've rented outside to come into the tower and fight.
Got another minute 45 before the end of the round.
Sectors are shutting down. It
That
shuts off.
rising freeze is going to be
And here, right now, you hear that alarm. This is
completely.
the super lift incoming right now.
Oh, it's a super lift. Okay.
So Dashy's trying to get stuff out of the bag, but he's got to hurry because. So the lift just came down. Now the barriers dropped, so you could actually get on the super lift.
And it's 1v1, I believe, at this point. Dashy with 7 eliminations. I believe just one other person. And well, Dashy
I
first
can't
to get
tell.
there, but may not be the last one to.
2 left. Yeah, 1v1. He's had 7 kills.
Does he want to actually get on that and escape with the loot, or does he want to, go for
Get
the
the
dead drop and win?
Let's go for the dead drop. Yes!
Done!
So
Dashy with the dead drop. And for anyone, and I know a lot of people in the audience might know what that means, but remind us again.
Oh,
what
go
we're
back to
seeing on
screen.
Quinn What is this dead drop? Because it looks like there's a whole lot of loot there.
Yeah, the dead drop is literally what it says right there, right? You deserve the best of the best from those who failed to be the best. And so this is all the best items from people that died and wasn't looted, and then you get to choose one of those to take with you. So it's like your trophy, your reward for winning that match. And you only get it if you're the last person standing. So that's one way to win, you know, quote unquote, win a match. Other people, they feel like a victory to them is going down the giant zipline extraction and getting away with some of their loot. You know, it's all about the risk reward, taking that into account, the tactical decision making, and even the strategy decision making.
So I think
what do I want to do? What's my goal? What's my agenda?
I think this might be a time where I jump in.
Killers. I think they all just want to try and go for the dead drop.
But so then, when you're looking at something like this, you get that dead drop as we just saw Dashy do. Are you going to have the opportunity to pick up things like those comics you were talking about? Is that going to be something you can select there, or is it mostly weapons?
It will. We prioritize.
Yeah, you can see the Pratsy Plus kind of element where some of these areas are kind of have some art on it, some of them don't. A lot of it's kind of got objects kind of blocked out or set in place, and you know they're. Dr. Lupo got smashed by Fab. That's not surprising.
People might be looking for a specific collectible or a specific item that a certain NPC wants, right? So that's when the strategy will start shifting. Now that he's out, it comes down to the strategy of what do you want to achieve next match, right? He's going to throw a lot of that stuff in his stash. He's going to take some of those attachments, customize his weapon, rebuild his loadout. He needs a backpack. Like right now, he's using default inventory.
Yeah, these are all the decisions that you get to make that we find really exciting, not just in-game, but out of game, right? What do you want to do for the night, going into this match? What do you have at your disposal? How much do you want to risk, right? All of those things, and we just love that feeling.
This is really good production as far as them putting together all these different clips throughout the match.
Without your best guns or your best weapons.
Grab a few things, get out of that first extraction
point. Take that zip line and go.
Exactly.
Classic zero to hero story.
Yeah. That is me most of the time. I want to do short, fast runs, try to get to that zip line as soon as the frost hits it, get out with a few things, build my loadout, go back in, do a fast run, and then once I have a loadout I'm really happy with, then I'll go for the dead drop.
Well, I like that a lot too, because I think sometimes games can be a little tough when you don't have an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours of playtime, right? Maybe you only have 30 minutes. Yeah. If you're doing kind of a thrifty run like you just described, yeah, you can pop onto your computer, sit down, do a quick run or two, and then call it a night.
Yes.
Yep.
Everyone's going to be able to get a key and be able to play right away. It's mostly going to be variants.
To see Dashy.
Keys will probably come out little by little, or if you get a key, they still have to be activated.
It's going to be a dead drop, right? We're going to see every single map, unless maybe a prox chat friendship. I don't know.
So typically,
as long as there's one person left.
And with this game, this does have blockchain as far as the inventory system.
There's no limit to
off-chain being part of part of Polygon chain, but it's within Midnight Society's system. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
the tower keys are an NFT in itself, in a way, or a token. And so that token has to be generated and then attached to a profile that's within Midnight Society's system. So you might get a token for a key, but will still take a little bit to sync to your profile and allow you to log in and play. That's just the way it's going to be up until all these keys are pretty much generated. And there's probably a huge backlog right now of like people trying to get keys. So
you can see them, those gameplay stations in the back. You're going to get to sit down and play Sector 3, try and escape the Rising Freeze yourself once the showdown is done. And I'm excited to try and get my hands on it. I know we're to jump into map 2 right now. But that's a lot of fun because you can watch it. You can watch amazing players. Like we have Dashy here who did get the dead drop in map 1 play. But it's different when you get to experience it yourself.
Absolutely.
Watching right now.
Yeah, you'll notice here.
Yeah, once you experience this for the first time, it's gonna be.
Advanced movements anymore. You can still climb ladders, do zip lines, use pipes without holstering your weapon, but there is still advantage to holstering because you get that increased boost to your run speed. You get around the map more fluidly. Feels really good.
How severe are the differences then? You say holstered versus a pistol. What about something like a shotgun to an AR? Are those the varying degrees of those run speeds based on what you're holding?
No, right now it's not based on what you're holding. It's just pretty much between two states. That is something that we're not necessarily against.
Whoa.
We just, that's an awesome revolver kill. The
Good
thing
by
we just
Holly.
wanted to test is just get, again, player the decision making from, do you want to be more about mobility at the expense of offensive capabilities, or do you want to be less mobile with more offensive capabilities? So that's a good proximity check there, but that is something that we're also excited about as well.
Those have been doing really well in these first two maps, but
Yeah, one thing that I don't think is obvious to people is, like, if you notice in the backpack inventory space, it's not based on stashes anymore. It's purely weight-based.
Okay.
So, for example, you know, there's no harm in picking up all those variant ID tags because they don't weigh hardly anything, right?
Yeah.
But picking up weapons is going to add significant weight to your backpack.
Yeah, sniper rifle weighs a ton in comparative to, say,
22 players, 3 minutes left.
Also,
Phase 1 of the match.
make sure you're upgrading that backpack.
Wow.
yeah, it's not just a run, grab everything with no regard for what it
You
is.
scumbag!
Pick up first, because I've seen a lot of guys looting right now, and they'll try to grab all the weapons, but they don't have the space, and they're leaving a large backpack in that guy's, right? So if you equip the large backpack first, your inventory will instantly expand, and then you can grab all those other weapons.
Karma getting some nice shots in here to the right. I'm not sure who exactly on, but
Yeah, that DMR is
it fires
incredibly
fast.
powerful.
You think it's fully automatic the way how fast it can fire, but it's a semi-automatic weapon.
maybe shouldn't have chased that down. Did not pay off. But you said you get 2 sim chances, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, something else just to chime in on what we're seeing here is that, you know, again, this game is it's going to be free to play when it fully releases. And that being said, you look at what we see on screen is that
Breeze
this
is rising.
early development. This
I
is
didn't notice that
pre-alpha
before,
access.
but
Everything you see visually, the art team went through and put things in there to just facilitate the game design. The level design.
ooh,
We are so early. This is not even close to what we feel is going to be the.
that's
the
one of those
bar.
mechanics. You can climb up on ledges. You can
And again, that's
hang off
what's
of ledges.
impressive is just what we've been able to accomplish. How far we've come since Snapshot 1.
and shimmy around. I haven't seen that
Where
yet.
we
People
are today,
climbing
have
up and
full
shimmying around on ledges yet.
and there's just the team is super excited and chomping at the bit to go all in on the art style, to go all in on more of the gameplay features, to level
Oh,
up the
shit.
gameplay features. So this is just to remind everyone at home is like what you're seeing here is not nearly close to what we're trying to achieve from a visual art.
Ladders, obviously a collision issue still.
When you guys were introducing the
Or maybe
tower
you did that on
features, the
purpose.
Cosmetics for some of the guns. I believe it's called the Deep Freeze
Deep
collection.
freeze collection, yep.
So I love anything like that. Those unique cosmetics. It's just another way to help yourself stand out in the environment.
Oh,
and
man,
as
Scuppy.
able to take down another victim. But for anyone who might just be tuning in now, they're here for the gameplay. They want to see it. Can you guys perhaps remind them on the tower key that's been announced today?
Yeah, so up till this point, we've had 10,000 variants have been the only one who have been able to play the game. To get early access to those builds, to have the ability to give feedback on the game. And that was with 400,000 people who applied to be founders.
400,000.
Only 10,000 of them were selected. Most of them are in this room today, right? And what we are doing now is we are opening
Most
it
of
up
them not
to more variants,
in the room
but
today.
more claws.
Quite a
So
few
more
are, yes.
context,
But
what they
there are
want
not
is you
10,000 in
to
that
play the
room.
game,
I
get in
guarantee
here,
it.
See what we're doing, give feedback.
There might be a
Because
few
what you see,
thousand.
especially when Doc streams the game, is you see a lot of people who are not
That
founders
place
comment,
got to be
"What's this?
huge.
How do I play this? How do I? And now this is the chance to get in there, play the game, be in alongside the variants, and also hunt them down.
You see the different abstracts that are now
So I
open,
think we just saw on
like the
screen
maglots.
there is that chopper extract, the zip
Someone
lines
took-
are available as well. Did someone, that's coming into the
It's coming
platform?
in,
Yeah, and it
yeah.
looks like Hitch, I don't know if he wants to head over there, but maybe
Oh,
made
they're
a
working
friend.
together.
Made a friend.
Yep.
I don't know how long this alliance is going to last, but
Well,
it does
not
look
long
like,
since only one person can take that chopper.
I don't know if they know.
That's the difference from the maglock gate. The chopper is first come, first serve.
This might be a heartbreak here in a minute.
Oh,
No.
see ya. Oh, no, he got it too. He got it.
Wait, he got
What?
Yeah. Nice. See?
There you
that's,
go.
That's live in development. That's something that, again, we're
hilarious.
trying to get that fixed and figured out, and we're okay with that.
Ah, so they were able to cheese it a little
Yeah.
bit.
We are 100% okay with it. This
Once
is where we're
it
at.
leaves that helipad,
That's a bug.
Yeah.
the fact that he grabbed the door before it took off,
Wow.
it put him in.
Yeah.
But maybe a tactical approach, right? Because now when we get into map 3, you have all that loot. You might be in a little better position if you didn't think you could get to that dead drop here.
Right.
Yes.
And we love, like some developers, they might see some of the stuff and they'll cringe, but us is like, yeah,
You know what? They can cringe all they want to. Piss on them.
Players like Dinosaurs and Jurassic Park, they find a way, and they just right there found a way to
They-
get 2 people on the chopper.
Life
It opens
will find a way.
The discourse between us and the players on what do they think about that? Do they like that? Is that something we integrate? Is that something they don't like and they want us to be more true to the design? This is all the what comes with the territory of open development, and we are all for it.
Rob, would you say are there any guns that you find the hardest to get used to, kind of the most difficult to master in the game so far? I mean, easy answer might be the sniper, I'm not sure, but
I kind of like that sight on that gun. I kind of like the hollow sight.
hitting those shots.
Yeah, I mean,
There's one sniper, or the one rifle,
super powerful weapon. If
and the
you-
first
Might be a lot now.
and he's deadly with it.
had a kind of a
But that one
B
to me has like that
like this
skill gap. It's super effective with the right attachment.
at
You slotted it,
the very end of the gun,
and you use it
or
effectively.
as far as the sight, and it was very difficult
I'm not
as far as
saying
where up and down on within that V. It was very narrow to see
Bonsai again.
how to
Seems
shoot
to be kind of the
or
area
where
that's
you're
so
shooting
heavy
with that,
emphasis
and I'm
on
glad.
comfort zone,
I
especially
don't know if
when
it's
you're
still
not
in the
necessarily
game.
on the
If
map.
they took it out with the Snapshot 4,
And he's got that optic
with
on
the
there.
different
For us,
optics
we're
and
like,
stuff
you
that
know what,
you
we're
can
letting people
slap on
experiment
a
and put all the
gun.
attachments on. And again, we're all for that. We're okay with it, and then we're going to see what players think. Is that lame? Is that too much of an advantage? You could even put big giant optics on the revolver, big hand cannon type of gun. It might look ridiculous. to some,
Here's
but
some of them
we're trying it
chatting
out.
here back and forth.
Well, and how often have you seen from
Someone threw a
Valiant,
smoke.
maybe from what you're going to see out of Bobby Poff and others today, these players
Bobby!
utilizing combinations in the game or game
Come on, put a
design
helmet and
you
that
weren't necessarily
vest
expecting,
on,
but you're just
dude.
watching these players evolve it in real time.
I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah,
Tom?
put that shit on.
Well, I mean, that is why I've been excited to watch people outside the dev team play, right? Because we play a certain
Yeah.
way. Either it's our personal
Yeah.
play style, or we're playing because, like, oh, we know we just added a feature and we're trying to see what that feels like.
Come on,
Watching
2-time.
people play
Yes!
competitively, trying to win, trying to get a lot of kills, it exposes a lot of different design tweaks. And
Doc
things
is
that
not a
maybe
bad
we're not
player at
expecting to see.
all.
Well, it looks like Doc
He definitely gets
goes
fed
for
up with
American Dad
with,
holding this
uh,
power position here.
Call of
Trying to
Duty
find a way
and
back.
some of the other
But a
games
ton of
that
time,
really
close to 5 minutes left.
he wants to be able to
HP, so that's not-
put on a show and have fun with it, and he generally does.
Especially if you don't have bandages, hoping to maybe loot them from someone instead.
Yeah, there's no life
Man.
up at the top of the tower. So he's
I mean,
gonna
he
have
does
to
have some skills. He absolutely has
He
skills,
never chooses to.
and he
He's gonna try to-
plays
This
it
is going
up.
to be the last stand. If there's not bandages here, then it's 7 HP till the end.
No damage in that one. Oh, it goes for that sniper rifle though.
Dr. Whoopo!
So
Hello,
you can see
Dr. Whoopo!
on the control center.
And there was one of those heal stations.
Yes.
Yep,
that you
yeah,
just
the
mentioned
life
on the
ring,
left.
There we go. See, that's the beauty of proximity check. Landing some shots.
Nice
Whoa.
shots.
Oh,
But
Ooh.
unfortunately, in a pinch situation,
Ooh.
there's someone behind him as well. Dr. Lupo potentially in a bit of trouble.
Throws out a smoke.
Nice.
So you can roll it or you can ADS and throw it. So he obviously just deployed it, which just rolls it at your feet. But if he would have ADS, he would have got a much further arc on it.
Oh, looks like you got him. Oh, yeah, there's some comics too.
Hey, quite a few.
Good ones. That's the newest comic, number 16.
After this one, I'm definitely hopping in the game. So
Some of those much needed bandages as well.
Yeah, those are some of the most important items in the game, being able to heal on the fly. So we found in our playtest that the bandages are one of the just most crucial items that like you want to always grab. And since they don't weigh a lot, you want to just grab them.
What is the heal amount for those?
20, I believe. 20 HP. But it heals pretty quick. It's not a crazy
Very
long,
quick animation.
Yeah, it's not a long, like, you know, something we call it, like, hey, you gotta do your
that was
challenge,
risky.
you gotta heal.
Oh, Bobby!
It's pretty quick.
Ground flying at Bobby Poff, able to take some of that loot as we swing over.
10 players left.
10 players, 7 eliminations for Z-Laner so far. I wonder if Doc is doing all right, considering this was kind of the same place he was in. Didn't have any bandages.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people
Sometimes
here.
quality on this stream has been dropping. It's probably because, you know, I had it on auto for a while,
On the screen. It's subtle or
but
something with
I think it's just the compression on their end.
early iterations on the Sin gameplay and what that means, and we're just trying to make it so that it does stand out.
They're outputting all these different PCs and switching between them and whatnot, so it's
not just your same old player. So that's why some of the stuff we're seeing
they're taking probably 720p and upscaling it to 1080 and
So if you
shoving it across
drop
YouTube
past
and
say you're able to make it all the way to the end, are you getting
1080p with a
all
lot
of
of
your
games
loot back
aren't
by default by
necessarily
dead dropping, or do you
clean
still
and
had to
clear.
find the bag, you had to loot it back?
See that
Okay.
freeze?
Oh, he's in the freeze.
Oh, and that hurts. Look at the way that ticks. It does not mess around, and you
Oh man,
will be waiting
he's
for round
gone.
3.
10 seconds, so you're
That's tough.
frozen.
I mean, I experienced that too. I tested it out. I was
Holy cow.
the Rising Freeze actually hurt. You do not have very many play opportunities
That is actually a cool look.
Creeping
to that.
upward.
Love shot. Oh, the
Oh,
turnaround.
Bab.
Off.
Oh.
Yeah, I love those
Onside
shots
came
where you're
back.
behind, you look down and you see the freeze just taking over the entire map.
The
It's something that we're really trying to set out, and we're definitely not done. But one of the main goals is that not only that it will mess you up and be damaging, but visually we want it to be menacing. We want it to look scary, so the players don't think it's something that they don't need to worry about. We want it to look menacing.
Z-Laner.
So that guy flanked around, but if you notice on the edge there was a railing he could have jumped out and grabbed.
Yeah.
And shimmied his way around there.
But those railings maybe not as obvious necessarily
No.
for some of these players. Maybe something you find and you go, oh,
Yeah.
now I know this. Now I have that moment, that leg up. But Z-Laner, now more eliminations than there are players remaining on the map with 3 seconds to the final phase. Has shots onto some.
Obviously, they're not hearing them very well.
It has a nice little.
That would have been a nice
I
tip.
was
Hey,
gonna
Z.
play out, did have a nice little position, but if American Dad's
Hey,
gonna swing around
Z.
the corner, there's not a lot you can do about that third-party play. As we have a minute 45
Comes the super lift.
here in map 2. Maybe a quick looting opportunity. Z-Laner still in a good position, but barely any health at just 6. And by the lack of healing that
I'm not
we're
used to
seeing,
health
maybe
bar being there
not
in the
any
middle.
bandages. And this is gonna be tough. You spot one, doesn't actually go in
There's a cover. All
for
goes
the
right through.
trade. Play a little ring around the rosy, figure out exactly where this person is.
Oh,
Won't fight
that
for
was
your life
close.
if you can get out of this. That is going to be extremely
Oh.
impressive. And
Oh,
there is that.
nice.
6 HP for Z-Laner. Doesn't need any more than that. Thank you very much. We'll head to that extraction with 3 remaining and almost double-digit eliminations.
Super lift is only going to be there for another minute, so
Put on that helmet.
that's going to be an eternity. That minute.
This makes me nervous when they take this long to loot.
If you click and hold on helmets and armor, it'll auto-equip to your armor slot.
So this is the final
Nice.
1v1 situation.
Nice
right here.
tip.
The 1v1. Travis with some
On
initial
C.
shots, not able to connect.
75 HP versus 6 last we saw.
35
You better be
seconds
careful
on
as
the
hell.
clock.
Oh,
Getting some good
shit.
shots, but not able to get it done. It doesn't matter. 6 HP,
Oh!
full HP. He'll take you down
God.
anyway. Double-digit eliminations and the dead drop to call it done. Z-Laner, stand up. You earned that win. Wow.
Nice.
I'm not gonna hit those.
I love looking around and seeing the smiles on these players' faces. This is
Oh.
we got a long
Boy,
way to
that
go,
was
but
good.
Just feels so good as a dev team watching this and seeing people smile at something that you helped make.
But I think that's, I mean, I can't even imagine when I've had the opportunity to play. I've had very few of these, really only one moment, but it was a great moment where I got a kill in an earlier snapshot onto someone. And yeah, I mean, I can't imagine what that feels like to see these players, watch them getting those hype moments, being able to make that come to life in your game, especially now that you talk about the artwork, the visuals, the design, having that rising freeze function here. I mean, it just makes you say, well, what's next? I want the next one. You know, I want to see what they can do when they have that next snapshot and the one after that.
It's the double extraction.
Now they know. Now they know.
That's the excitement we like to hear. Yes, I got out. Because when you come into Sector 3, more than likely you're going to die. You're not going to make it out. So that's the feeling we want. The feeling of
That was
you
a hell of
wanna
a
go
drop
for
there,
dead drop
Scum.
because you feel like you're on and you can do it, or is your goal just to get out with your life and with the stuff that you have, so that the next match you could bring in more. That's exactly the feeling we're trying to go for.
You see all these
Well, I imagine there's
visors.
certain maps as well where maybe you're just looting. You're expecting, you're maybe trying to go for
They
those.
definitely
final
light
actions,
up.
And then suddenly you get the comet, maybe something really rare, and it just changes the entire atmosphere of that map for you. Suddenly it's,
100%.
where's the zip line? How can I get out right now?
Yes, the moment you find that thing you've been looking for, all you're thinking about is getting out.
You playing with a controller or mouse keyboard?
Well, it looks like I think one more map on the horizon, and no double wins just yet.
Yeah, so
Z-Laner
it's
able to
Dashy
take
and then
map
Z-Laner,
2.
right?
Dashy and Z-Laner could very well be all optic. We need Doc to get that final. We need to see something. That can be so tough, though. I mean, we saw Z-Laner was in that similar position, same spot, but just so little health.
Yeah. So this match right here, also keep in mind as players and people watching this, is this the amount of players in this match is below what you're going to be playing at home. Because this is only like 10 players, so the pace is going to be a little bit slower, a little bit more sneakier, trying to find people.
I
That
was
being said,
hoping
still
that I
some
would be able to get in, but
it's going to be much more of a
no,
frenetic pace.
they're actually
Oh,
playing
because we
on
doubled the
a
amount of
specific
players from
server on
Snapshot 4
purpose.
to Snapshot 5. So we're at
Played
36 players.
2v2. And that might be part of the system that
Some of that.
402
Chat.
had mentioned in the beginning of the stream was
People are already communicating and working together. This is great.
people are going to be able to do modifications to the game or whatever to do individual matches or, you know, whatever. I don't know.
Well, it's interesting too. Some people are just going to pick up those play styles or those tactics or those areas like we saw out of Bonsai Bros earlier on that you can then relay later on. Like, this is where I've been. This is how it's been working out for me. And
Yeah, and Travis just dropped a weapon right there for his buddy that he just formed an alliance with in the match itself. These emergent alliances.
there's a lot of trust happening here, though.
Oh, yeah. So this is near the bottom of the map right here.
Scump is
Said some of the best loot. Scump
A
in an
cat.
altercation with someone a little bit of a level above
running.
him. Connects with some opening
man,
shots,
the
but
jump
this
down.
player flying at him, not afraid to get the challenge.
Ooh,
But doing a decent
he's
chunk of
low.
damage so
Oh,
far, and well,
Shotzzy.
that was Shotzzy. I'm sorry. We'll see
That
you
makes
later, as I
sense
said.
now that we see a shot because his play style, how he's just always zooming.
He's just laughing his
Not
ass
afraid
off.
to make a challenge, that's for sure. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Sector 3, the Rising Freeze, and I imagine you can't necessarily tell me anything, but this is specific to this sector.
Yes, every sector will have its own themed shutdown,
Okay.
right? So as a sector shuts down, extraction points open, and then something is going to be forcing players out, right? For cold storage, it's the temperature regulators have gone offline, that freeze starts to take over, and it forces players out. For the next sector above it or below it, it's going to be completely different.
Yeah. Again, that's another challenge. You know, it's easy to say, hey, this is how all the sectors shut down. As players have to go to the top. But again, the team that we assembled.
Get in the game.
We feel like, even though it's more difficult, look at this alliance. How many players there are now? This is insane.
We're at what, 3 now?
Yeah, this is great. But yeah, the team, we don't shy away from what's difficult, and we feel like it benefits the player.
Only 3 people in now?
If every play space has unique things about it, so that players can like certain sectors differently.
They open up the
different things. Take into account when you go into a match what you have to deal with. Each sector is its own character unto itself.
Are we at 4 now? How many
Is
people
this
are
multiple teams or is this all the same one?
And this is just game number 3. The first game we saw no one's really teaming.
No.
The second game we saw a pair that was teaming. And now you see the more they've played, it's like, okay, well, how do we want to game the system? What do we want to do? This is 100% okay. It's a part of the game.
This is DEADROP.
This is DEADROP.
Sometimes friend drop, depending on how it ends.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, we've had fun experiences on the team where someone joins up with their buddy. I was told the story last night on the dev team, and since you can die and respawn, the person said like, okay, cool, yes, team up, awesome, great. Hey, how many lives do you have left? Oh, I think I have 1 left. And then that person shot him in the back of the head.
Oh,
Because
no.
he knew he had a respawn left, and then he took all his loot.
That was a trust fall that did not work out.
Exactly. So it's just things like that. It's like, man, that's pretty dirty right there.
Well, I imagine there could even be iterations.
I guess that's how
that
many
you come back as a
how many
maybe you offer
respawns that you
something.
have, how
I
many
something you might want. If you give me
synth
back
values you can
my stuff, I
to
can
use.
give you this. We'll drop into another game.
That's another thing that's going to be interesting because
If you help me out now.
Yeah.
a lot
I
of it,
think especially
you know,
with
extractions.
challenges and people are looking for specific items, that type of gameplay
I
really
don't
comes
think
into play.
have
I think we're gonna jump back as a. Let's just running in place, just hanging out
Yeah.
for a second
This
here.
is game development, live game
In
development.
map 3, but no.
Something
so we've seen.
broke.
I think you guys were talking about it again. Those iterations of the gameplay. This is a free for all. Yes, you see people teaming up, but that's by choice, right?
Yes.
And I want to know as well. Is it always going to be that free for all? Are you going to be able to load in with other people? Is that a question I'm not allowed to ask right now?
You could ask me. I probably would be more conservative, so you should probably ask Rob.
It is something that like we definitely are looking at additional modes, right? Right now what we're looking at is our core DEADROP mode, which is a solo experience. As you see, you can dynamically
Either
team up with people.
the server dropped
definitely
or
looking at in the
they
future what
purposely
this
were
squad's
told to
like,
restart
how
because
many
people were
would
getting
house
into the
systems and
lobby.
stuff like that. Right now.
You're telling me it's not all at once? We can't get everything right now?
Unfortunately, I wish. I'm pushing for it.
We will be patient, as we will be, as I think we're looking to get back into map 3. Maybe some of those alliances will survive through as we prepare to jump back in. But I'm not surprised to see the Bonsai Bros. They're getting everyone together. They found their spot. They're like, hey, teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah.
Let's make sure we all extract together. But something that's fun to me is considering all the different ways content can come out of interactions like that, right?
Yes.
Whether it's because you're a variant, whether it's someone, maybe you got that tower key, you're jumping in now. I want to see the video when someone manages to get the entirety of the lobby to wait up there and all extract together.
Yes, I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see what happens. The most fun games for me are when people are talking and communicating, even if they're not teaming together, just having that interaction. Because sometimes you'll have those moments where it's like you both mutually decide, not right now. I'll see you at the top of the tower. We both just started looting.
You're
Like, let's.
hey, you, see,
Yeah.
you go that way, I'll go this way.
And then you see that person again once you get to the top.
So I want to go back to something you were talking about before, which is the Sins. We know they have the 2 lives. You're going to see a little bit of the effects on their screen personally. But when you're someone else going up against a Sin, maybe the Z-Laner when he won the second map, what are some of the visual indicators you as another player are going to have that they are a Sin and not their actual character?
Yeah, currently there is a visual difference.
Yep.
It's going to get much more drastic in future snapshots.
Yeah, to be clear, the current iteration of that is a Sin has just different clothing, and then they have a shorn,
Just
a bald
standing
head,
there.
so totally no hair at all, and then their eyes are glowing red. So, yeah, so we
He
want
just domes me.
Again, just experiment with that. We want them to look a little off-putting, I should say, a little off-putting, but also a little bit scary. That's where the red eyes come in. We want the red eyes to stick out a little bit in dark places. So those are the things that you could identify a Sin when you see one.
But just like you can customize your gameplay and eventually your appearance for your main character, we also want that to transcend over into Sins in the future as well.
Oh, really?
Another element for you to customize, personalize, and really make your own.
So you're getting things, you said your character, the Sin, your hideout, you can really make it your own, whatever you end up doing with collecting the visor cortexes, the Variant IDs,
that's
the car.
That's something we tried to tease earlier of like, this is just the beginning of Sins and their manifestation in the game. We have a big vision for what they are and the direction we want to take them that, to be honest, it really, really excites us. But we also want to hear from the players as well. So this, again, let's introduce them, let's not hold back, and then try to drop this whole crazy big feature set of them, and then see if players kind of don't like it. Let's get it out there a little bit, see how players feel about it, take their feedback, and then in a way, that is the beauty of it because it helps us understand how much more resources do we want to put into, in this instance, we're talking about
Let's
Sins.
be friends.
You could look at that as like feature X, feature Y. Instead of us going dark, working on something for 2 years, dropping it, and players don't like it, let's show the players now. As soon as we can get something out, let's put it out, and then we get active
Bro!
feedback right away. And then it helps us understand what is the best direction to take feature X, Y, or Z.
Well, and something I loved, you talk about that feedback, right? You guys were standing on stage and you were calling people out in the crowd, members of the community that engage with DEADROP, that you know because they are there and providing that feedback. Say you're someone who's purchased a tower key today. What are the methods in which you can provide that feedback, the avenues for them to be able to communicate with us?
Yeah, hit Discord, join the community, get involved in the discussions. Every Friday, we're doing Friday night DEADROPs. We're playing with the community. We're listening to them in voice chat. You can talk about features in the Discord. In future stats,
Surge rush them.
into the game so that you can report stuff, submit feedback. So there's going to be more and more integrated ways.
That body is.
I love that.
No, someone's.
It's extracting
It was hard
out.
to listen to Rob say that because that was hilarious. But
Like, please take me off screen.
so funny.
What was that about? Wow.
Yeah, we're all for it, showing what we got. It's a snapshot in time where we're at in development. And I also love seeing, we had a clip a minute ago of a team that's up on that crane. There's about 3 of them working together. I think that's actually the team that Scump is shooting at right now. I think there's a couple of people behind that structure.
And Bobby Bob, how many times now have we seen you
Knock
guys
up on 'em.
focus Perhaps on one engagement, you're in an open area like that, you're exposed.
Freeze
someone
is
comes down,
coming.
flank or hits you from behind Bobby Poff there, and unfortunately, just not enough time to be able to take on that gunfight. Back to Shotzi. 2 eliminations, but still a very healthy lobby so far.
You said that you see that red siren light that he ran by. That's how you know that the freeze is about to hit that area. So they'll start off a certain color, and then once they switch over and start moving, then you know that the freeze is coming.
So not only will you have the audio indicators, you'll have those visual indicators as well, aside from the freeze itself. Right?
Yes, there's a lot of subtle and then very overt things to let you know when you're in danger.
And we're really trying to strike that balance, Katie, of things that are in the world communicating to the player, because we're trying to make it feel immersive instead of just putting a bunch of things on the screen or the heads-up display, like with the timer and all these kind of things. So we're doing a little bit of that, but that's where those lights and those sirens, those are in the environment themselves. And that's where we just want to create...
Honestly, I haven't been looking around at the environment that much. I've been
You're in the tower,
half listening and half
you have to deal with that.
watching.
That's where we're at.
That was a nice
How do
shot
you
back
get
right
2
around the
timeout? That's not fair.
And American Dad taking down Curtis. A nice little GG there.
Yeah, see, okay, this is that same crew.
What?
They're
Okay,
still
they're
up
back
on
together.
the crane, yeah.
All of us.
You guys got the move.
Crane team, yep. They call themselves crane team.
You're up to something.
Remember the solo extract or the group extract, alright?
Love it.
No,
I'm nervous of the lack of people focusing on that ladder. But you said there's multiple ladders at this point?
There's 2 ladders up
Two
to
ladders up to that point.
Yeah, they're up front.
I think it's Sean. Is that Sean? It's Sean. Let's go. Let's go. Sean's on the way up. Sean's on the way up.
Let's go.
You can make it. Get up here, brother. Are they across away from us?
Look at that team fire.
Not easy shots to hit though at that point.
No, yeah, every weapon is projectile based, so that means everything has a travel time, deal with gravity, all that.
Good. Nothing's hit scan.
Shots, nothing
Oh.
what we call in the game industry of hit scan. Weapons aren't just like instantly go to where you point.
Good.
So it'll take you a learning curve.
That's
Those
right.
individual weapons, scopes, attachments,
Yep.
etc., to be able to anticipate correctly where that bullet's going.
Attachments, mods, they're going to impact those drop-offs and those.
Being that it's hit scan, it kind of has a little bit more of a
That's our weapon mod chip. We had it in earlier snapshots, but this
a little bit harder
again, it's just really rare
as far as
to see
desync
the
goes.
weapon. I mean, it really
That
is your weapon.
someone shoots you or starts shooting you, depending on how far away you are.
So that is something that we are really looking forward to seeing players find that, because when you find it, it's like a big deal.
Aims.
Yeah, that's a extract ASAP.
Yeah.
Sort of an item. And imagine too, you figure out your play style, what you like, and you're gonna extract. I would assume with multiple of the same equipped gun with whatever attachment, so that if something goes wrong, you have someone you have one in your stash already that you can re-up, right? Can you have multiple of the exact same build if you're extracting with them?
Yeah. Whatever you have in your backpack, you can extract with. It's always good to have backups of both the individual parts, because once you get disassemble it, store away the mod.
So close, Lupo.
Yep. Go to the armory, disassemble it, put on new attachments. So there is no disadvantage to throwing that weapon on in game and then extracting out the weapon, because you can just peel it back off.
And unfortunately, the ladder, we've seen a few of those kills as well. You have to be aware of your surroundings before you put yourself in a vulnerable state.
You do. Yeah. Yeah, and that's, again, all by design. We want
Lupo's back in.
lots of choices and options as you move, both horizontally, but especially vertically, but everything's got to have to be taken into account, weight and the cost. And that's kind of what we were talking about earlier, just the level design, being a character itself, the movement is there, but it's all environmentally based and not things like grapple hooks, jetpacks, letting
Still got
just
5 minutes
go from
left,
point
but
A to point B because they hit a button.
17
They have to
people.
physically go to a place, plan out their route, and then take into account the risks of that route.
Dude.
That was scary. I'm like, dude. Come on, man.
Did I lose?
See, upgrade that helmet. There you go. Nice.
I think when you turn in, you talk about things like content as well, you're going to get, and maybe it's going to be some of the people in this room who are playing in the DEADROP Showdown right now, those best route videos, right? Depending on the extraction type you want to do, maybe what sector you're in, the most effective ways to
people will
get
find
out.
ways to
It just seems
to
like
get
there's
around the map and really
1,000 different ways for different creators with different styles to make content around it.
Yes. Especially with like how much diversity of how you can get places are, right? You can climb, you can shimmy across ledges, you can use pipes. We're not seeing a lot of that in this, right? People are taking the obvious routes, but once this community gets their hands on it and they start figuring out all those nooks and crannies, then a lot of those videos are going to start hitting.
Yep. And that's by design. We wanted to make sure that there's a lot of, kind of secret routes.
The designer wants you to know that that was by design. That was not an accident.
Very intentional.
He deliberately did it.
Yes.
I just want to point out that was a very smart decision that was made by me.
You shut up.
Shotzi looked like maybe only that one bandage to get him up to a little over half health. Does have someone right here going for the shots, but well, it's Iceman Isaac now with multiple eliminations. Shotzi perhaps coming back as a sin, we'll have to see, but Ames now no eliminations yet, but still plenty of people left. 17 so far as we push toward that final phase. A little less than 4 minutes to go.
This looks like the crane team is still here.
They're hanging out. Bonding.
They're going to try to fight their way to that super lift.
What is going to be cool too, I assume, as that rising.
Come on, Ames, speak up. You're not full health.
To be able to see that creeping up
battle extract time.
Do we have to wait for the
Oh!
Little zigzag.
Some nice movement from Sean.
You can slide down that. You can see the cold is definitely rising up now.
Now 16 remaining. And when you're seeing those drop-offs, that's your character, your 2 sins. You're done and out?
Yeah.
Or you extracted?
Yes. Yeah. If they extract out, they can't come back in. Or they. Oh no!
Oh no!
No!
No! The best of friends ripped apart. Dashy. Merciless in the destruction on top of that crane.
Ames either jumped to her death or got on the ladder.
Fights across just a giant chasm that is traversable. See, it's one of those choke points if you could hold that sky bridge right there.
Shotzi, Karma, Stone Mountain, everyone seeming to fall around Dashy now. 2 away from double-digit elimination. Looks like Giant's not able to connect with the shots, but turns around, spots one behind him. Unrational, we'll see you later. Make it 9. Might be the best decision to leave Dashy alone.
Maybe. He's doing pretty damn good.
Oh, 1 HP.
1 HP. Natali didn't listen to my advice, didn't need to.
Oh. You see
Freeze is
the
coming up right
yeah,
here.
the screen's starting to frost over.
I really like that.
That is a
maybe not
good
necessarily damage
good
yourself, but
UI.
one of
That's
those
cool.
indicators, and I believe a sin as well, based on what we're seeing around the sides of the screen. Another visual indicator of, hey, you might want to start moving.
Yeah. That frost will get more and more intense, start obstructing more of your view before it starts killing you.
So as people are exploring these maps and Maniac maybe needing to reposition, how many little Easter egg, maybe don't tell me too much, but are you going to be incentivized to look around, maybe find some Easter eggs spread around these maps?
There's a few.
Yeah.
A few to find?
I mean, that is something that we're going to be. I mean, the Easter eggs outside of the comics, which again is another rare chase item, is just the areas that you could traverse. And these players here, you haven't seen anyone be using any of the vertical pipes.
Might not even know they can yet.
That's right. And that's something that we wanted to not hit the player over the head, because we want players to feel smart. We want players to have that discoverability. We want players to get hyped and excited about different ways to move around the map. And again, that tells us more information how we want to design our sectors going forward. But that is something that is important to us, is environmental design, environmental-based movement.
It's always fun when you have that moment, you discover something, and you're like, oh, hey, come over, check out, you can do this, you know, and then next time it kind of makes it an entirely new experience when you drop in, even though, yes, the map has stayed the same, but as you said, right, you've discovered this new way to traverse that map. Gives it that bit of
Got to move, Ames.
The artists have put in a few visual Easter eggs.
Yeah.
One I love and one Doc hates.
Yes, that is true.
Frost is really coming up. Oh, she's screwed.
Oh, he died
deep
to the freeze.
Gotta get away. Fab said, no, I'll just let you have that deep freeze. I'm gonna get away now, the rising freeze.
You can't clamber that.
Oh, no!
You're screwed.
We will see you later. Look at how fast that health disappears. That ladder is not gonna help you now. One wrong step, and it was a disaster.
Yeah.
8 players with 1:30. You can see that
Oh,
lift is
I guess Ames either got back in or.
right now.
Oh, team. They're teaming. Okay.
Maybe a wholesome ending, maybe not a dead drop.
It's looking good. This is a new feature in Snapshot 5, being able to drop stuff out of your backpack.
Let's go to time.
Subtle feature.
He's got, I don't know what so his armor is pretty good. He's got medium armor across the board. He's got 80 HP.
Has the bandages available, at least 2 of them.
Picked up a sniper rifle. Doesn't have ammo for it, but probably has 2 shots. Okay, there we go. 2 shots for the 2 time.
4 eliminations, 4 players.
So we know we have 2 people colluding and teaming up by the super lift.
You hear him too.
He's going to come up here, and this will be interesting.
Nice.
Oh.
That's heavy armor right there.
He has heavy armor on.
Otherwise, I assume could have been a kill shot.
Yeah, I think it would.
On peak one time.
Perhaps a bit frustrating there for Doc, assuming take one out, not able
Doesn't
to
have
connect,
any ammo,
goes
you're out of
for
ammo.
another.
He's out of ammo.
He's like shit.
Making plays.
One of the easier eliminations.
Ooh! Dead drop for 2 times.
Better than Doc himself with the dead drop. Dashy map 1, Z-Laner map 2, Doc map 3. A nice shot in the back, letting those other players whittle each other down, and the extraction all on his own. So, congratulations. I saw some amazing gameplay.
Yeah, that was an incredible ending.
Did you have a favorite winning Dashy, Z-Laner? Z-Laner had a lot of eliminations. Did he have double digits or was that Dashy?
First one was one of those.
Just like watching Z-Laner play in general. Just fast moving, quick decision.
I'm glad I watched that. That was
I think
that was epic.
One of the, not only do they have incredible gun skill, gameplay, intuition, game sense, but watching players who are at that caliber sit down with a game and learn it at such a rapid pace.
Yes, yeah. That's been incredible just to watch today. So many pros sitting down, playing it for the very first time, and starting to pick up and slowly improve each match.
Just laughing, having a good time.
You can see Scum
With some of these.
having a lot of fun. I think, yeah, that was that one shot
highlights.
around the corner. That might be, honestly, my favorite feature there with the Prox chat, that you do get that time for a while after you're eliminated by someone to talk with them.
Crane team.
Dashy when he was wreaking havoc on the top. Crane able to take out, I believe it was Stone Mountain at that point, caused everyone else to scatter.
Panic.
Rest in peace is right here.
And you know, that is that panic. You see that ladder, and I think you knew, even attempting to get on it,
Yeah.
you can't go anywhere. And I assume even if you could bandage, at that point, if you're that low down, are you getting out of there?
The freeze will outpace your bandage.
Well, congratulations once again. 3 maps, 3 dead drops. And those dead drops, those only happen when there's that final player.
It's gonna be a time for them to do a meet and greet and whatever else. So
Getting it done, but that is it for our dead drop showdown
That's it.
presented by Cheez-It, and what a showdown it was. 3 incredible maps, and let's make some noise for our winners. And I think the attendees, they know what that means. That means that they get to go to the back now. They get to sit down and experience Snapshot 5 for themselves. If you loved what you just saw, well, here's another little treat for you. Here's a chance to be a part of Dead Drop. Take a look at how that can happen.
Get the camera off me.
Time, the primal scream has been the essence of human competitiveness in film, in television, and video games. At the end of a last-minute kill, a clutch win, a series-defining capture, it starts as a rumbling in our gut, and we cannot contain it. It is now time to capture your primal scream for your chance to get your primal scream into Dead Drop. Along with that, the winner is getting 5 tower keys to get pre-alpha access to Dead Drop in the early snapshots. So record your best primal scream, upload it to Twitter, tag us at 12 a.m. with the hashtag primal scream, and we will see you in the existence.
Primal scream. Yeah, my scream is shit. but this.
That's it for the live stream and the reveal of Snapshot 5 in the cold storage sector.
This is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna jump into the game now.
This is what it's all about, sharing this moment with you guys, sharing it with our players, sharing it with our future pros, all of us together, step by step. I cannot express what this means to me, the Midnight Society team sitting here, to be on this journey together. Introducing our first sector in the tower, our first sector shutdown feature with the deep freeze, our first legendary weapons pack, and our first time welcoming players who are not variants. This is a huge snapshot for us, and we're still only getting started.
That's
to everybody at home,
true.
Pick up a tower key, join us. For the rest of us here, we're still hanging out. Let's get some games in, let's grab some drinks, and let's hang out and talk about Dead Drop. Good night.
Alrighty. So that was Dead Drop. And let's just say Snapshot 5. Alright, just had to fix that real quick. So that was Snapshot 5 live stream from Midnight Society. Just gonna go through and actually load up Dead Drop and play a little bit myself. I don't know how long I'll be playing. Really depends on different things. One of which is it's been a little while sitting here streaming, so I'm gonna take just a 1 or 2 minute break here. I'll be right back. Just sit tight, and then I'll jump into the game. I was also probably talking with my mic off. I had to do some extra stuff to log in with my Founder's Pass, so and that just crashed on me. It didn't fully log in. Try this again here. Restart the game. I think some other people are having login issues too, but that might be because of server load or just sharing the token, or maybe I took too long. There we go. The pain in the butt. But it's a pain in the butt because I made it more difficult on myself in the first place. So, there's a little bit less of a worry for most people that are going to be getting into the game because their access pass or tower key is going to most likely be attached to their Midnight Society profile, and so they won't have to go through and do what I just did, unless they want to. So now I'm actually logging in. Let's see if I can get into a game. Alright, so it said that added this feedback thing before button mapping. So this is one thing they didn't have before in Snapshot 4, at least not that I can remember, which is good. So you will do left lean or equip a smoke if you're not in aim down sight. WASD for movement. Shift is sprint, which is what it was before. Caps is objective. It's probably you, I think. Backpack is tab, which I think has been normal. If not, I for inventory. Maybe a secondary. It's grayed out, so I don't know. So R is reload, C is to crouch or slide. X is to stow a weapon or holster it. F is to interact. Is what it's been. Heal is E or right lean. E is drop, which is kind of good that you don't have to still hit that. E is fire mode, which was what it was before. Jump, fire, throw weapon, ADS. Next weapon, quick stow, or next weapon, stow, quick throw. This is going to be your grenade. And scroll. Item details. Alright, so obviously I have take one and you're done. Weapon drop. About this. Oh. Well, I'm not sure what I picked. Alright, well, I guess I'm done. I guess it's probably, when you die, you start with a basic pistol, or had started with a basic pistol from your loadout. Here's my visor. Does that look about the same? Does that look about the same as my visor? Looks pretty close to it. It's got a nice glow to it. Huh. How about that? Matches pretty well. Wow. So, here's my visor quartet. It's in the game. So obviously, hoodie, is variant is going to be wearing. The shotgun, AR, SMG. I bring 5 of those. It might help if I actually look at the bottom. Transfer G to delete. You can't split this. You can't just do one. I'm not gonna bother with healing it first. What I'm gonna end up doing is just taking my generic pistol. Let's take a look at each of these. Shift, click. Shift and not what I wanted. I think it's a little laggy. Or I moved the mouse. Or no, I held it down. Shift. There we go. Can't move it around to look at the full. Yeah, I think the UI is a little buggy. As to be expected, it's brand new update. Obviously, that's my car with no no paint on it, which is obviously for down here. That is definitely me, Niner, Tango 1, and this is actually the ID of the actual visor itself. Pull this back up here real quick. So, yeah, 84520G11. That's the actual identifier of the visor quartets. pattern itself, and there's one of a kind of all these visor cortexes out of 10,000. So yeah, just so you are aware. All right, so oh, that's cool. 12 a.m. Kind of creepy looking. Anything else? Nope. Can't change anything else there. It's not a bad theme. It's pretty cool. So let's hop in with this pistol and duke it out with people. 4, 3, 2, let's go! I'll probably end up doing a couple rounds on stream. I'm gonna get off and probably play some more, see if I can get around with other variants through the Discord. Ooh, my FPS is kind of crap. So I may have to adjust my settings. I'm able to play the game because I am a Midnight Society founder. So I've been able to play every snapshot that Midnight Society has had. Right now, if you get a tower key, you can play yourself. There's a limited amount. It may take you a little bit of time to go through and get a key yourself, but you'll be able to download the same snapshot and play yourself. Adjust my... I may have to lock this to... We'll see. Better? Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, like I said, this PC is a little bit older, and so one of those things of before it wasn't that great. It's probably only gonna get worse. So I ended up getting tired. So 2 SIM cards. Ooh. That is definitely a different filter for being a synthetic. I do not know where I was. At this point, I don't think that matters. I'm gonna have to mess with my mouse system too. It's that's part of my issue as well. No better. Might be close. Wice is coming. try another map. I'm getting the best FPS at the moment. Third, by not the quality down. This is one of these things that no one was able to do on stream. Line up these pipes. Really, you can your way up. Yeah, the tower keys, just like the access passes, are a token that that has to be generated and then attached to your profile for Midnight Society key, or you know, your login that you set up on the Midnight Society site. So once those are attached, then you can log in with that tower key off the website, and that'll get you in the game and be able to play. Being that there's a lot of people trying to get those keys, and it probably is a backlog of... because I know when the 10,000 of us got our Founders Passes, it took about... I don't know, it took a while. They generated all the 10,000 within like 2 days. But then transferring it to all of us, getting us actually in the game, they were pretty quick about it. It was much faster, but it does take probably up to maybe an hour or so, I would think, at this point with the backlog. I have no information on how long it would actually take to get you in the game, but that is very likely that is going to be a little bit to get in. I would say easily this weekend they'll be able to get through everybody, and you'll be able to get playing pretty quick. So I'll just stick in there, and the other items in my stash disappeared. That's funny. Maybe that's a bug. Yeah, I would say I disconnected or something here. Sorry, relaunching the game one more time. So yeah, it's just I would double check in the Discord, or just watch the Twitter account for Midnight Society, and they'll be able to get you timeframes on roughly how long it's going to be to get your tower key. Yeah, I'm not sure I wouldn't even know how to really mention it other than look in Discord and see if other people have, bought their key, and they say that they got in, and see how long it took. There we go. My stash is revolver. Give that a try. Yeah, most people that are going to be playing, I guess, are going to be a founder, which are going to have this Visor Quartet's helmet with this special design on them. That'll be different from what you have. You'll have a generic helmet. You'll have a separate, they call it a claw ID, just like my ID as far as my Tango 1. Got it since I. That's good. One of those railings that Gary. Here we anything past you, climbing down. Climbing down to maybe not. Closed off. Five people left here. Here. I fell. Oh. That was close. In my position away, accidentally shooting. I hit him at least once for 40. Dash is not loaded again. Alright. Well, this is going to be a constant issue, probably. Do the server load. That's what I wanted to do the last time, just go back to the main screen, try to reload. There we go. Yeah, obviously there's a, you have to sync here with that. Alright, well, I'm gonna continue playing on and off here, but I am going to finish up the stream for tonight. It's been a long stream. I've been live for about 3 hours. Most of that's been watching the actual reveal event. But looks like my connection overall is dropping out as well, and that's mostly because it's the weekend and more people are probably watching YouTube or Netflix or Hulu or whatever else and soaking up bandwidth. So YouTube is complaining now, saying that it can't get enough information, probably because one is a static screen, so YouTube does that too. So there's not enough movement on the screen and it thinks things are broken. But anyway, I hope whoever gets a tower key ends up having that process through pretty quick, and you get in game. It is fun. You may have to tweak your settings if you have an older machine, but as you can see, even on a 6-year-old desktop, as long as you have a decent graphics card and memory, you should be able to be okay-ish. I would probably say that this machine is not going to be able to play this at full release once they get all the artwork in, unless they optimize it quite a bit, which really it's not optimized at all. But at the same time, it's Unreal Engine 5, 5.1. So it's a brand new engine, so it should be fairly, I would hope, able to handle a lot of the optimizations by default, being a brand new engine. If it doesn't, then I'll be surprised. But that's gonna be it. Man, I can't believe how much they've gone through and got into this game within the last year. It's only gonna get better. So, I'll see you around. Everyone have a good weekend, and I will see you in the game. If you see Niner Tango 1, you know it's me. Alright, see ya.